Welcome everyone, this is Zozo Stockwatch, and this is your Let's Get Ready for the Week Ahead, October 9th through October 13th. S&P another week of gains, even after the decrease in jobs from the non-farm payrolls on Friday. But we did have some wage growth, and the markets were up for the week, as the markets brush everything aside again. Korea threatening to shoot missiles over the weekend, so rumblings from Korea. So let's go ahead and get right into it. As you can see here, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 1.65 for the weekend, making new all-time highs on the Dow Jones Industrials. The S&P 500 was also up over 1% for the week, and the NASDAQ Composite was also up 1.45% for the week. So a very nice week in the three major markets there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the IWC, which powered up almost 2% for the week. And the IWM also powered up over 1% for the week. So very nice week there. The IYT was actually down a fraction for the week. And the semiconductors, SMH, were up almost 2% for the week. So let's go ahead and delve into some of these charts and see where we are on the dailies. So we'll start out with the Qs. And we'll take a look at the Qs and we'll move down to the daily chart. And we got as high as this 148 area here on the QQQ after coming up off of the 100 SMA. The Qs had been a laggard, but now we're trying to play catch up. If you take a look at the IWM, that's really what kind of got us here. It powered up off of the 134 level, pushing up over 150 on the IWM. The IWC also ran from 84 all the way up to about that 96 and change area, and it rode the 5 EMA, the yellow dotted line you see here. So the IWC, a little bit of red candle indecisiveness coming up right now, but that's after a big huge run in the IWC, and same thing for the IWM. We got a couple of red candles here, and but we're still holding above the 5, and even if we pulled back to the 10 SMA on the IWM, it wouldn't be too bad, for a slight pause, a slight breather in the markets. If we go ahead and look at the SMH on the daily, we see we had a nice run off the 20 SMA from about that $90 breakout area all the way up to about 95 and change on the SMH. We'll go ahead and look at the IBB, and we're trying to break out over this, highs here of 342.50. So 342.50 is kind of the spot to watch right now on the IBB. The XBI, on the other hand, is trying to break over that 89 spot for the XBI. But nice moves off of this support here around that 82 level, and trying to push up and out over that 88, 89 spot on the XBI. On the IBB, we consolidated here, and then we broke out back above the 10 SMA on the IBB and pushed up higher. But a nice run for the bulls here, nice continuation move. So we'll see what they want to do next week. But a lot of strength in the markets. The IYT took a pause after this nice run off of that 162 area, pushed up to about 180, and is pulling back to about the 10 SMA on the IYT. The SPY, we're up here at this 254, 255 area on the SPY, riding the 5 EMA above the 10 SMA. So a lot of strength here, but maybe due for a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of hesitation here on Friday candle after those unemployment numbers. The employment numbers came out on Friday. They were minus 33,000, but there was the hurricanes, and that was thrown into the mix. But wages did show some growth, so that was good. And looks like maybe Janet Yellen can go ahead and raise rates in December. So that's what I think the market is looking for. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of the other markets. We'll look at the USO, which for the week on the USO, not a great week for the USO. Oil down 4.41% on oil. After the cracking that 50 spot on oil, and we'll go ahead and bring that up for the oil WTI chart. After cracking 50, we got as high as around that 52 and change area, and now we're pulling back to about the 10 SMA on the weekly chart is what you're looking at right now. So we pulled back now to about the 10 SMA on the weekly chart. If we look at it on the daily, we're right about at the 50 SMA for WTI oil. So, that had dropped for the week on the WTI of almost 5% on oil after having a nice run. Finally, we got a pullback in oil. The OIH, which is the service sector of oil, that was down almost 2.5% for the week, and that's such names as Schlumberger, which pulled back about 2% for the week, Rig, that was down about 4% for the week, and also Halliburton makes up the OIH, and that was down about almost 3% in Halliburton. So oil did take a reverse this week, so we'll see where we're going to be headed. Looks like for oil, we're going to have to watch and see if we can get back over that $50 level again for oil. And once again, we have that $55 level up ahead also for oil. All right, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at some other markets now. We'll go ahead and look at the bank sector, XLF. And the XLF for the week was up 1.89% for the week on the XLF, so nice pop there. And we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the names in the XLF. JP Morgan, nice strength there, riding the 10, riding the 5 EMA. Citigroup also making new all-time highs on Citigroup there, so a very nice pop in Citigroup. We also had a nice run in WFC, who was kind of the laggard, but did play catch up in that name. Goldman Sachs also popping, and Bank of America making new highs here on the daily in Bank of America. Even the home builders did well. For the home builders, pushing up to new highs, new weekly highs here on the XHB, and that's such names as Lennar. And that was up nicely for the week on Lennar. That was up about 6% for the week on Lennar, the home builder. And we'll take a look at Toll Brothers. That was up 3% for the week. And lastly, we just look at Beazer Homes. That was up about 3% for the week for the home builders in the XHB. So very nice there, very nice strength. Good sector rotation right now. If we look at the XLK, which is the energy sector, technology sector, that was up over almost 1.5% for the week on the XLK. So nice push up off the 50 SMA on the XLK, pushing up to almost $60 now. And if we take a look at it on the weekly chart, nice pop here, riding the 10, riding the 20 SMA on the XLK. So let's go ahead and look at some other ETFs like HACK. On the weekly chart, the hack was up about 3%. This is cybersecurity, and that was up about 3%. And if you see here on the daily, we were talking about this last week, and we got that nice push up through this breakout consolidation here. So hack really doing nicely. Some names like FireEye pushing higher, CUDA. Had a very nice week. Palo Alto Networks also pushing up and out. So those are some of the cybersecurity names. If we go ahead and look at ROBO, R-O-B-O, we came up to about that 39 spot, 39 and change, and we're pulling back a little bit on the daily here, but still above the 10 SMA, but back below the 5 EMA. If we look at it on the weekly, for the week we're up almost 1% in ROBO, and that's the automation index. Let's check out TAN and see how that did for the week on TAN, the solar ETF. For the week, solar TAN was up 1.29%. And if we look at it on the daily chart, we're trying to get back over the 20 SMA, and that's, such names as First Solar. So First Solar took a whack back here, and now it's kind of recovering here, getting back over the 20 and the 50 SMA on First Solar. Some other names in that TAN are SPWR not faring as well. And then we also have SPWR, we have SUNW. which was added back in. So that solar not doing very well. CSIQ trying to hold the 50 SMA there. So it's like a mixed bag in the solars. Take a look at JASO. That one's still under the 10 SMA. And JKS. That one, moving down to the 100 SMA. So pretty much was First Solar. SEDG is very strong in that sector. Probably the best looking chart in the solar sector right now is this SEDG. And holding above the 10, holding above the 5, trying to get up and over this $30 area on SEDG. Another ETF we'll take a look at is Social, SOCL. And this one is riding the 5 EMA, and that's, such names as Twitter, which was, pulling back a little bit Friday, but Facebook, very strong here in Facebook, moving up above the 50, moving up above the 20. You see it's kind of in this consolidation channel here on Facebook. So it looks like it's maybe trying to break out and over on that 175 spot. We also have a Snap. That one trying to turn the corner here on the daily chart, holding above the 50 SMA, trying to break out over this 15 level on Snap. So that's some of the social media. If we look at the airlines for the week, JETS is the ETF there. That was up almost 5% for the week. So nice movement in the airlines, and we'll get into those more in a moment. If we look at regional banking index, that was up a fraction for the week, and we'll look at it on the daily. Beautiful run here off around this $50 area. Nice push up to about almost that 57 and change on the regional banks, KRE, and that would be such names as Zion pushing up and HBAN pushing higher. And right now in consolidation around that 14 level on HBAN, and Zion after this big run up pushes higher near that 48 level on Zion. So the regional banks are doing very well. As far as the lithium has been very strong. A little bit of a pullback here in lithium play in the lithium ETF, but still holding above the 5 EMA on the daily chart. And ALB, this one was actually downgraded on Friday, specialty chemicals, and then the other one is SQM. And that one, trying to hold above the 20 SMA on SQM for the lithium ETF. Next up, we'll take a look at the, Bitcoin. This GBTC had popped up over 1,000. Now it's kind of just basing after pulling back to about 500. Kind of just basing around this 700 level on this Bitcoin investment trust. All right, and some other names some other sectors we'll take a look at. The Rare Earth Strategic Metals ETF, REMX, riding the 5 EMA right now. Nice continuation up off of this 24 spot. The weekly pushing up off of the 100 SMA here on Rare Earth REMX. Russia right now for the week was down about 1%. So goes oil, so goes RSX, the Russia ETF. Some other ETFs, we'll just take a quick look at the XLB, and that's the Sector Metals ETF, and that's still riding the 5 EMA on the daily chart, but a very nice move here on that. And we'll go right back to the IYT once again, and a nice pop here on the IYT up from 162 up to the highs of about 180. And like I said, the airlines really made a nice push last week on the airlines. So very nice week for the transports and the airlines. One other one we'll take a look at is the SLX, which is the steel ETF. And this is holding above the 5 after pulling back a little bit on the SLX. If we look at it on the weekly chart, looks like it may be trying to, break out over this 45 spot on the SLX, the steel ETF. And, that's such names as US Steel. On the daily, US Steel holding above the 50 now. If we take a look at AKS, this one is stuck below the 100 SMA. And also STLD had a little bit of a nice run here, back over the 200 SMA. And TMST finally broke that 16 area, and nice run there for TMST. So that's a little brief look at the markets. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of your stocks that were best stocks for the week. And we had some really nice gainers. Mylan was a big winner for the week. That was up 22%. Even GM was pushing higher this week, up over 11% on General Motors. And back to Mylan, they got approval for their on their injectable drug, and so that one is soaring. They got FDA approval on that, so very nice move in Mylan. Forgot to mention that. NFLX was up 9% for the week, so Netflix, very nice move. As we mentioned, some of the home builders had very nice moves this week. Lennar, LEN up 6%. KBH was also up about 8% for the week. In the airline sector, we had Delta Airlines, that was up 8% for the week. UAL up 7% for the week. JBLU up 6% for the week. And Twitter, nice week for Twitter, almost up 6% for the week on Twitter. Some other ones that really went gangbuster were the small little biotechs, ECYT, and this stock was up over 300% for the week on ECYT. Mankind had a terrific week. That stock was up 132% for the week on Mankind. They got approval for their label change from the FDA, and that stock just soared for the week, up 132%. MTBC, this one came in up 89% for the week. MTBC RGSE, this is a small solar name, and this one popped 83% for the week on RGSE. KNDI came out of nowhere and popped for about 60% for the week. iTech, very nice week, had 47% gains in iTech. HMNY, this stock was up 24% for the week, and looks like it wants to go more here on this HMNY. So very powerful move, big volume coming in on the stock on HMNY. Definitely one to watch. INFI, this stock was up 20% for the week on INFY. CBAK, this stock was up 40% for the week on CBAC. Dries surprisingly makes the list, and that was up 35% for the week on Dries. So a very nice week for Dries. Maybe the shippers are back, and we did trade Dries, so that was a very nice gainer for the week on DRYS. ABIO up 30% for the week on ABIO. TEAR up 34% for the week. CDNA up 52% for the week. LINU popped 114% for the week on LINU. CLSN up 123% for the week. SSTI up 36% for the week. And JP coming in up nicely, 39% for the week. Asset management, JP, popping 39% for the week. If we go ahead and look at the worst stocks for the week, we had Teva. Because of that news with Mylan, Teva went the opposite way, and that was down 9% for the week. Costco, they had their earnings this week, and that stock was down about 4% on Costco for their earnings. GPRO, thought it was going to get going, and now it's kind of fading off on GoPro, down 10% for the week. JWN, minus 6%. KSS, minus 5%. AMMA, also down 29% for the week. NITE, this is an IPO, that was down 13% for the week. IMMU, down 17% for the week. Fitbit, which was making a little bit of a run, they lost 7%. BLUE, a biotech that lost 7% for the week. HLX, minus 10% for the week. XCO was down 10% for the week. Shop got hit by Citron, which is a well-known short selling firm. They were down 16% for the week, saying that they're comparing it to Herbalife and that it's a pyramid scheme on SHOP for Shopify, and that stock dropped 16% for the week. ZN, minus 18% for the week. SQNS, minus 37% for the week. Fizz, minus 12%. So you could say they lost some of their fizz in fizz. And AAOI also down 10% for the week. MNTA was down 30% for the week. That's 30%. NAVI minus 16% for the week. They do student loans. And so NAVI took a hit 16%. HELE after their earnings dropped about 9% for the week. And then here comes Amazon getting into prescription drugs. So CVS was down about 5% for the week, a little bit over, and WBA lastly was also down because Amazon may be coming into prescription drugs. So WBA, Walgreens Boots Alliance, was down 5% for the week. So that's your best stock and worst stocks for the week. All right, so let's go ahead and get you ready for the week ahead, and we'll take a quick look at the Fear and Greed Index. Not that this is the holy grail or anything, but we were, I think Friday, we're up at 95%, so we did, take a little air out of the markets on Friday, but we're still up here in the extreme greed area at 92. So maybe we'll just consolidate in the markets. We'll have to see, but we are a little bit stretched on this oscillator. If we go ahead and take a look at some option activity from Friday, and this is from courtesy of the Trade Exchange. We had DHI, Hortons with call activity, Hertz, HTZ, ILG, Intel, and NTRS, all with unusual call activity. To the put side, we had Delta Airlines, DAL, HIMX, MA, OMC, and RCII, Rent-A-Center, to the put side for unusual put activity. If we go ahead and look at our movers for Friday, top gainers, courtesy of the Trade Exchange, we had ALQA. I believe this was a reverse split. OME, SNCR, GIGA, CCIH, TROV, SIFY, HLF, XXII, FLXN, CGNT, SCHG for our top gainers for the week. For our top losers for the week, we had NITE, HVT, HELE, and that was after their earnings. INAP, DAR, GIMO, SAFM, Costco after their earnings, XCO, NBR, ADAP, and CVS with the possibility of Amazon getting into prescription drugs. So that's your top gainers and top losers for Friday. If we go ahead and take a look at our calendar for the week ahead for October 9th through October 13th, we do have some economic information. Don't forget, the markets are open on Monday, but it is a holiday, Columbus Day. So the banks will be closed, but the markets are open, and very limited economic information for Monday the 9th. If we go ahead and look at Tuesday, we have the Small Business Optimist Index coming out. We do have some Fed speak coming out for Tuesday the 10th, Neil Kashkari. And then at night we have Rob Kaplan. He'll be speaking at 8 o'clock for Fed speak. So a couple of Fed speaks there. Not much by way of economic information. For 4:30 p.m. though, you do have that API crude oil coming out. If we go ahead and look ahead for Wednesday the 11th, we have some more Fed speak, MBA mortgage applications. 2 o'clock, this might be kind of big, the FOMC meeting minutes, all right, FOMC minutes for 2 p.m., and that's on Wednesday the 11th. Looking ahead, we have initial jobless claims on Thursday the 12th. We also have at 10:30 nat gas numbers coming out. And also, don't forget now, EIA petroleum oil, since we're having this government holiday on Monday, that'll be coming out at 11 o'clock on Thursday the 12th. So right after the nat gas, 11 o'clock, we get the EIA petroleum report. And you see the scattering of Fed speak for that day also. Friday, very heavy with Fed speak on Friday, and we have consumer sentiment at 10, business inventories at 10, consumer price index at 8:30. So that'll be all coming out on Friday. And we'll go ahead and get right into our earnings for the week. For our earnings for the week, earnings season does start kicking off. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some earnings. Monday, we don't have any earnings coming out for Monday, October 9th. but then we start to get into the opening of earnings season, and we have such names. Tuesday after the close, we have CUDA, C-U-D-A, which is in the cybersecurity sector, and VOX, V-O-X-X. They'll both be reporting after the bell on Tuesday. Some names reporting before the bell on Wednesday, October 11th, will be OZRK, DAL, FAST. Will be reporting, and BlackRock also will be reporting before the open on Wednesday. After the close, we have on Wednesday, we have let's see, Blackhawk, and that's about it. I'm sorry, Hawk, H-A-W-K, excuse me, Black Hawk. All right, so HAWK will be reporting after the bell on Wednesday. All right, for Thursday before the bell, the banks start kicking it off. Thursday before the open, we have Citigroup reporting, JP Morgan reporting, and then we have Domino's Pizza reporting earnings, and that's before the bell on Thursday. After the close, we have EXFO. Then Friday, before the open, the banks come into play again, and we have Bank America. We also have PNC and Wells Fargo reporting earnings for Friday before the bell. And so the banks really kick it off this week. Other names reporting Friday before the bell: JBHT, JB Hunt, and we also have a First Republic Bank, FRC. And lastly, Del Frisco's Restaurant, DFRG. So that's some of your earnings coming up for the week ahead, October 9th through Friday, October 13th. So the banks will start kicking it off for the earnings week, and then after that week, we really get hot and heavy into the earnings. So stay tuned for that. So just some stories that came out for the week for biotech. We had Friday, FLXN, that the FDA approved Zeretta for the treatment, and that one got a nice pop on Friday. So FLXN, very nice move, very nice volume that came in on FLXN. Like I said, the FDA announced Friday that they got approval from Zeretta, and then this Mylan, MYL, announced Wednesday that the FDA approved its generic version of Teva's Copaxone. All right, so this is why Mylan got a very nice pop. Another name, let's see, RYTM was an IPO this week, and that one surged Thursday after its public offering on IPO. On the IPO. So RYTM is a biotech IPO that came out this week. Let's see, BHVN did not fare as well. That one that closed down the week about 14%, announced did not meet the primary endpoint for its phase 2/phase 3 trial on BHVN. So this one was down about 14% for the week. The other one that didn't fare as well was MCRB in the biotech land. This one was down about 26% for the week. Monday came out with the announcement on Monday that top line data from its phase 1B trial, the data showed that the clinical response rate was either equal to or less than those patients on the placebo, and that's why that one dropped. So that's just a little bit of biotech news that came out for the week. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some information that came out Friday. Don't forget some IPOs coming up for the week ahead. CARG, KIDS, HAIR, all IPOing sometime next week. They're expected next week for those IPOs. ITEK, Form 13G, filed by Opali Management, 5.76%. That came out after the bell on Friday. Let's see if there was any other news. Tesla Semi unveil now November 16th. All right, so Tesla Semi truck November 16th. And they were selling off a little bit in the after hours on Friday. CDNA Form 4 for that one on CDNA, and you can read that right there. What else did we have? after the bell on Friday. Some news from AKS, changes surcharge for stainless steel products on AKS. And I think that's pretty much it. It was pretty light on Friday for after the bell. So that's kind of your news for after the bell. Let's see what this Apple's execs in charge of back-end technology for iCloud has left. So Apple lost an executive with iCloud. And I think that is about it. We do have that hurricane kind of hitting the New Orleans area, Hurricane Nate. Last time I looked, it was up to 85 mile-an-hour winds. And so we do have Hurricane Nate has shut down 92% of the U.S. Gulf of Mexico oil production. All right, and that was because of Hurricane Nate. So we're going to have to see how that's going to affect oil stocks on the open for Monday. All right, guys, so that's it for the week ahead. Thank you so much for listening. This has been your Let's Get Ready for the Week Ahead, and you are more ready for the week ahead than you were before. And don't forget, I'll be doing a video, stocks to watch, for Monday, and that'll be out on Sunday. All right, have a very nice weekend. Thank you so much for following me on YouTube. Please hit that like button, retweet this video, and also subscribe if you're new to the YouTube channel. Have a great night.